What's up, YouTube? It's Corioli from Swolioli, coming in with a twofer. I'm kind of messed up right now, so bear with me. I'm going to go over two things. First off, alcohol. Alcohol immediately shuts down the fat burning process. Once it hits your liver, think about it. It's poison. Your liver has to completely focus on digesting and eliminating the toxins in your body, which are going to be the alcohol that you just ingested. So say goodbye to fat loss during that. I say 12 hours after the fact. That might be bro science, who knows? But purely based off of experience, I notice that fat just starts to kind of soften up, almost not thicken, but you notice that there's a little bit more fluffiness, and that could be due to estrogen increase. That could be due to the fat loss process inhibiting the fat loss process. That could be due to water retention, a plethora of things. But keep in mind when you ingest alcohol, that does slow down the fat loss process. Number two, one of my first subscribers actually wanted me to discuss the pectoral muscle, how the pectoral muscle actually contracts. It's one of 7 different kinds of muscles, skeletal muscle, I should say, and it is a convergent skeletal muscle, which means, well, I guess not particularly implied in the name. They work in triangles. So convergent muscles typically will work in triangles, much like similar to pennate muscles, which is kind of like the delt. The delt tends to work in triangular fashion, but so does the pec. So the pec tends to work in 3 different triangles, at least to my knowledge. It's the upper pec, the middle pec, and the lower pec. The pec works to adduct, which means to come across the body, adduct the humerus. So bring the humerus across towards the midline. So what I found really helps flex the pec muscle is to completely retract your shoulder blade. So I'll see if I can show that from the back. So completely flexing the shoulder blade and sometimes even lat if that works better for you. So completely pushing the shoulder down. It's almost like an anti-shrug, the opposite of a shrug. So if a shrug is here, an anti-shrug is here. And that you'll immediately feel that in your lower pec. So one thing I do, especially during flies, is make sure that that shoulder is compact and deep into the lat. So that when you do contract, you're going to come across the body, keeping that shoulder blade back. You don't want to come way too far forward. You're going to start applying too much pressure to your AC joint. That's something I actually have a lot of problems with in the past is inflaming that joint, and that doesn't feel good. It is a very interesting pain, actually. It's not so much searing, but more like a I want to say more of a almost like an annoying pain in the front of the delt. It'll feel like a bicep tendonitis almost, which I've had as well. But yeah, you really want to push the shoulder down as far as possible, and you can actually see that. I want you to see that. You can see this is a shrug, this is an anti-shrug, so you can see that lower pec immediately flex. So when you're doing flies, make sure that shoulder is back, and when you're pulling forward, you're trying to bring not just the forearm across your body, but the upper arm across your body. That's why you'll see a lot of pec decks set up where the forearm is not even involved. It's actually in a state where featuring my cat destroying the bathroom. It's actually motion that just involves the upper arm, which is kind of intuitive now that I think about it, because the forearm really has nothing to do with a pectoral flexion. But yep, you want to completely push that shoulder blade back and down as if it's going into your back pocket. So yeah, so think about where your back pocket is. Push your shoulder blade down into that back pocket as if you're putting a penny in there with it. And once that's occurred, you should feel a flexion in your lower pec. After that has been accomplished, then you get that full stretch, which you should still feel tension in your lower pec. If you're not, there's something going wrong. Honestly, hit me up anytime. I would be more than happy because I had a small chest when I first started lifting. Excuse me, I've slowed down the fat process pretty recently, so bear with me. But yeah, so you want to fully flex down and back. Once that shoulder comes back, you want to bring the humerus across the body, and you should feel a full flexion. I don't know if you can see that. But yep, full flexion. And you should feel a deep pull towards that middle of the chest, lower, almost like below the armpit. Definitely helps in terms of mind-muscle connection, blood pump, a lot of different things. You will know when you're activating your pec. It might not be the time of the workout, but the next day, if you feel sore underneath, not directly underneath the nipple, that might be something different, but right below or even under the armpit, if you feel sore there, you're doing something right. If you feel pain anywhere around the joints, it could be one of three places, because I've had a lot of shoulder impingement before. So if you feel pain right along the edge between your clavicle and the actual shoulder capsule itself, you're causing AC joint pain. If you're feeling pain in the back of your shoulder during this, you're going to want to work on rotator cuff strengthening exercises, because that means something is not solid back there. If you're feeling pain in the front of the delt, not necessarily on that bone, but in the front of the delt, almost like right here, in the delt itself, it's probably bicep tendonitis. That's something I would get checked out with a doctor, because that could cause proximal distal. Sorry, I just combined two words together. Proximal bicep tendon tears, which are extremely difficult to repair, even with surgery. Even the best doctors I've heard have hard times repairing that kind of thing. Okay, we're going on 8 minutes. So I'll cut this short. So yeah, you really want to push that shoulder down, back. You can see that. My shoulder blade is down, back. You should feel flexion in your lat. And then you're going to bring that bicep across your body. That should be the biggest mind-muscle connection you should be considering and thinking about. Bear with me. I'm about 5 or 6 deep, so trying the best I can. But yep, down, back, bring the bicep across the body towards your, I would say upper abs, middle chest. You should be able to see that, how that really creates a line between my individual pecs. That's something you want to focus on. So that's all it for this one. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, comments, please like and subscribe. Hit me up. My email is corioly1@gmail.com. Feel free to hit me up at any point in time with questions or video recommendations. I would be more than happy to supplement your intelligence, because I wish someone told me this when I was first started lifting, which is about 5 years ago. So this is Corioli signing out. Thanks, guys.